see if I can do just that today. Slide that back a little bit. All right, get the light out the way. Okay, yeah, there we go. All right. What's going on, everyone? Hope you guys are having a great day thus far. And mine will be better if I can get me a notification. So let's see if I can do that. Let's see. There we go. All right, notification popped up. That's what I'm talking about. All right, let's see if everybody else is getting notifications. Can y'all hear me? I see some people checking in. Luciano in the crib. I see. All right, let me hit the like button first before I get all caught up. All right, so it looks like the notification at least went out to me. And hopefully it's going out to others. But see, that's why you got to subscribe to the channel and make sure that you know my routine. Most likely every night at 7 o'clock, I'm going live. May go a little early, may go a little late, but I try to go every night, Monday through Friday. And this way you don't have to solely rely on notifications. All right, somebody said I subbed before. So did they unsub you? That's my question. See, I got to stay on their butts. Make me sick, man. I can't stand you, dude, man. Anyway, now, we got to cover some stuff tonight because we got a whole bunch of folks just running around saying, did y'all hear that? Y'all hear that? You don't hear that wolf coming? You don't hear the wolf coming? And then getting everybody all stirred up. And all of a sudden, you sneak a peek and ain't nothing there. Ain't nothing there. And it appears that the left have been crying wolf for many, many years. Now, you know how many wolves they done called out? They say we got the wolf of racism. We got the wolf of white supremacy. We got the wolf of Nazism. We got the wolf of a constitutional crisis. We got the wolf of all of these things. We got the wolf of a bloodbath. Everything was, here comes the big bad wolf. And yet at the same time, you look for it, you wait for it, you brace for it, and nothing shows up. A kitty cat, a pussy cat shows up, and everybody's looking at you going, dude, you called me in here for this? You said that Trump was going to blow us up and take us to World War III. I mean, you go that high? How can you come back down from that? They were straight up telling us Trump's about to take us into World War III. Day one. Then y'all said on day one, he's going to become a dictator. Day one, he's going to do this. He's going to do that. All of those things. And at some point, you would think that people would start to realize that all they're doing is saying, everybody hurry up, come over here. Look what's about to happen. You know what? The wolf's coming this time. At what point do you stop believing these people? Now, you know, I mean, I never believed them. I peeped their game out a long time ago. And everybody here that watches my channel, we're all smart. We all see through it. We all know the difference between a horrible wolf call versus the real. We know the difference. But apparently, their people don't know the difference. And that's why they keep giving these sorry behind wolf calls, telling everybody the wolf is coming. So with that being said, hopefully people had a chance to go ahead and start logging in. Trinidad in the house. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, man. I would love to get down to Trinidad. I heard it's beautiful weather down there. I got a friend who salsa dances with us. She's from Trinidad. Yeah, so maybe when these planes stop falling out the sky, I might, jump on a bird and fly on down to Trinidad. Right about now, I'll be out there inspecting the plane like I'm the pilot. All right, let's she shake the wing. Is it supposed to flex like that? Is it supposed to flex this much? Yeah, okay. What does this button do? All right, I want to know. See, I would be concerned right about now to jump on a bird. But anyway, at some point, you got to fly if you want to get to places. So let's go ahead and get busy so we can get through tonight. Maybe I can get some nourishment, get some sleep. I'm going to have a hard day of physical labor tomorrow. See, so I got to get mentally prepared. See, all right. So let's get busy. Real gorilla. There's some kings in the building. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Yeah, so we definitely got to pray that there are no more plane crashes, man. Telling you. I mean, that's those situations. You know, people always try to comfort me. You know, I mean, that's my Achilles heel. That's my kryptonite. I don't like flying. Now I'll do it, but I don't like it. I don't like it. And then they always try to tell you, but don't worry. You know what? You got a lesser chance of dying in a plane crash than you do in a car crash. And I'm like, yeah, well, I got a greater chance of survival in a car crash than I do in a plane crash. These people up in Canada that all walked away, they're blessed. I bet you they were shocked. Like, what the? See, but in my mind, I'm thinking I'll be the only guy to survive. You know, maybe it's just narcissism or whatever, but I'm thinking I'll be the only guy giving the interview after the plane crash. It was a close one. I knew we were going down, and I decided I was going to jump and tuck and roll right before the plane hit the ground. And it was a close one, touch and go, but I'm here to go ahead and tell the tale. See, I always think I'm going to survive. But the reality is there are certain circumstances that are just out of your control. And then I play the odds of probability. I'm like, okay, I've been in several car crashes, but I've never been in a plane crash. And I've walked away from every one of those car crashes, thank God. So I'll do it, but I really don't like it. I don't like it at all. Now, let's go ahead and get busy, man, because everybody's still mad about Elon Musk and Trump. They don't like that relationship, y'all. Yeah, because that relationship is digging into them. See, the wrong people are squealing and screaming and all of that stuff. And it's making me say, why y'all acting a fool like this? What is it with these Democrats and them wanting to stop Elon Musk from going through the government and finding all of this waste? See, if it's not your money, why are you concerned? See, this is where you have to start saying, what's the real motive? Because let's be real, Democrats are not that nice. They don't care about all of these employees. You think these folks are really worried about your privacy, and yet the Democrat Party will surveil you in a minute. Hey, cut it out. No playing in here. This is all serious business, you two. Now they want to get frisky and start playing around. I'm like, yo, we in here for business now. Get focused. All right. When I do my show, everybody's focused. But yeah. I mean, do you really think that these Democrats are worried about folks' sensitive information getting stolen and the American people getting paid and all of these things? No, they're worried about protecting their own little honey pot, and they're also worried about getting busted. There it is. But they try to pass that off on we're looking out for all of these people. That's what it is. We don't like seeing these people get fired, even though we went out there and said, listen, we've been patient. Our patience is running thin. Now get the shot. And all of those people were getting fired and having to quit their jobs and leaving the military, all of that. But yet they worry about these people's employment all of a sudden. See, so you always got to ask yourself, when Democrats whine, kick, scream, or they attack something, you got to ask yourself, what's in it for them? They're not nice people. The Democrat Party is a self-serving party, so everything they do is calculated based on protecting their power or their advantage or whatever. So if you really think they're out there going, hey, there's some poor Joe sitting in the basement of USAID, he got his old Nana house and he has to take care of it, and look at him. He's not able to work now. They fired him. No, they're not thinking about him. They're thinking about, how can we stop Elon and them from going down that rabbit trail only to find Elizabeth Warren down there, only to find Chuck Schumer down there, only to find, some of these raggedy behind Democrats and probably some Republicans down there. See, so that's why they're kicking and screaming. But anyway, with that being said, let's go ahead and get it started. Don't forget, text MAGA to this number right here, 3309-744-607, to stay connected with me just in case. And check out Kevin's Corner store and make sure that you hit that like button, share, all that good stuff. And if you want to support the channel through my Cash App and PayPal, you can do that too. The links are below each video. Mitch McConnell, he's down there too.
I will lift you up when they push you down. I will raise my voice and stand my ground. Well, it looks like it might be a hard road.
What are we? We got a frat, a fraternity, the sweat blood. I got a feeling. I got a feeling. So what are they out there doing? Singing. Now see, these are the things that make the whole Democrat Party and all their supporters look weird. These are the things that make everybody say, you ain't got nothing to do. Y'all put together a little quartet, came down here, trying to sing something. And all you're doing is embarrassing yourself. You're making me not want to associate with you if I'm a Democrat. I'm going over here like, I wasn't expecting them to break out in chorus. So now they're singing about Elon Musk and stuff. And I'm thinking this is not a good, healthy way to protest in 2025. The left, man, is compromised socially. They are socially awkward. They don't realize that they're the outlier. They don't realize that the majority of people will look at them and say, what are they over there singing about? Now I'm about to go jump on a man truck for a good hard 8 to 10 hours a day. And you got these folks down there in falsetto. And you're going, what are they whining about now? Crying wolf. So here they are now out there singing again.
But I'm gonna walk it with you.
The Democrats' anti-DOGE choir is back with a fresh new track. It's almost as painful as Greg's bumping music. Those liberal lunatics capping off another week of anti-Elon rallies, raging against the waste management wizards.
Wow. Now they are on the trail of Elon Musk big time and Trump. You know, with every antic and every tactic you can possibly think of, trying to turn sentiment against him on every level, getting people to show up at Tesla, harassing folks. You got crazy radical leftists out there with signs saying we need to do bad things to Elon, y'all. Bad things. We got folks out there with guns, wrapped in the LGBT flag or whatever, but he got himself an AR-15. Now imagine if these were conservatives out there like that and had signs about what we should do to Chameleon Harris or somebody like that. They would be having a fit. But all of this is acceptable. You got protesters out there talking about we got to get prepared to fight and go to civil war. This is going to end in blood. And I'm saying, wow. And here all of us conservatives are thinking everything's going great. We're walking around minding our own business, waiting for the next DOGE exposed. That's what we're doing. We're sitting like, when is the next DOGE exposed dropping? Shoot, I'm standing outside waiting for the new release like it's the new Prince or Michael Jackson album. You know, that's back in the day when you have to actually go to the record store to get that mess. Be standing out there like, did they open the doors yet? They're going to sell out immediately with that new MJ. See, so I'm waiting for the next DOGE to be exposed. But these folks are out here singing and all of that crap. And the Democrat Party is encouraging these people.
DOGE now has a website that's keeping score on all the government slop they're digging up.
What? But wait, there's no proof. There's no proof. No. They're just saying things. They're making it up. Now, you know how desperate the fake news got to be to try to still run cover for these Democrats. If they really think Elon Musk and his crew is in there just digging around, making up stuff, you know, just throwing stuff out there with no proof, they're not Democrats. I mean, Democrats do that. They go in knowing we ain't got no proof, so we got to make something up. We got to make something up and then bury the evidence when they start saying, show us. Oh, y'all want to see the evidence? Oh, you know what? We didn't know y'all want to. We deleted that. I don't know where it's. Did you know where it's at, Benny? You know where it's at? Huh, Liz Cheney? Nah, we don't know where it's at. So they make stuff up. But if you really think Elon is in there, just saying, all right, everything looks good in here, but let's just say they're spending billions of dollars and wasting dollars and all this stuff. So they just throwing it out there. No proof. And the sad part about it is if Elon started showing the actual, documents within the computer or the software or whatever, without no redactions, no doubt, you want to see, this guy's showing everybody's information. Look at this. I mean, look, he's exposing people's private information. So that's the big thing right now. The big thing is constitutional crisis. Also, our personal private information is being exposed, and Elon's going to steal it and sell it and make more billions and trillions and stuff like that. These are the crazy narratives that these folks are pushing into society. And I actually spoke with somebody the other day that believed it. That's what killed me. I thought these were all just actors and actresses and stuff like that. I didn't think I'd ever find a real person who believes this in the wild. I couldn't believe it, man. Almost had a net to catch the person. Yeah, drag him in here like I actually got one, y'all. Okay, it's under that blanket right there. I'm gonna pull the blanket off so you can see a real person who believes in this garbage. So let's continue though. Here we go. Because now they dropping out those receipts to shut the media up.
Case in point, the Department of Education just had to slash grants to 4 equity assistance centers.
What's that?
Blowing $33 million of your taxpayer cash.
What?
On things like this workshop on whiteness.
Today's virtual roundtable is entitled Identifying and Disrupting Your Whiteness.
Wow. See, I'm so glad that they're digging in there and showing this type of stuff. Identifying that. Now, this woman, I guarantee you, she want, USAID to still exist because that's her grift. You want it to exist for your grift. I mean, you sitting here giving dang on, calls and stuff, just telling everybody, all right, first of all, if you're white, raise your hand. All right, I see a lot of white hands. Wait a minute. Who else is over there? We want to see who's all a part of the white crew. Wait a minute, let me see something here. Wait a minute, man, long time. Yeah. Hold on. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, they want people sitting there at the job. If you happen to be white, you got to sit there and take that mess. Sitting in our, tell us your biases, making stuff up. Like you're on a job interview when they be like, tell us some of the negative things about yourself. Well, let's see. Sometimes too focused. I oftentimes work too much, and I like to win. Those are bad things. So now these folks had to sit through these seminars and mess and listen to this black lady lecture them about their whiteness, and we had to pay for it.
A workshop addressing power and privilege toward anti-racist spaces.
And we just got an exclusive clip. Sean Hannity sitting down with President Trump and Elon Musk for their first joint interview. Let's watch.
You're both aware, you have to be keenly aware that the media and the punditry class, not that, I think you've proven they have no power anymore because they threw everything they had at you and they didn't win. And that was, the New York Times, Washington Post, 3 networks, every late night comedy show, 2 cable channels. They threw everything, lawfare, weaponization. Sure. And
something's off.
Now I see they want you two to start, they want a divorce. They want you two to start hating each other. And they try, President Elon Musk, for example. You do know that they're doing that to you.
Now, isn't that crazy? See, what's mind-boggling is how childlike the fake news and the Democrats are. Their tactics are playground tactics where you see it. I heard him say that you can't read good and stuff. That is how see-through they are with their tactics. But it works on some people. That's the crazy part about it. The person I'm talking about was like, literally, Elon Musk bought the presidency. And now he's running the White House so he can get richer. And I'm listening to this and I'm going, you fell for the playground tactic. As you get older and more socially aware, especially politically aware, to see the game that's being played, these people are transparent in their efforts. Soon as they came out with it, I was like, oh, okay, Operation Divide Elon and Trump by playing their egos against each other. So easy. And they do it. Then I'm going, y'all aren't even good at this. It's so obvious. But nonetheless, they'll try it anyway. And it only works on the unlearned.
Oh, I see it all the time. They tried it, then they stopped. That wasn't. They have many different things of hatred. Actually, Elon called me. He said, they're trying to drive us apart. I said, absolutely. No, they said, we have breaking news. Donald Trump has ceded control of the presidency to Elon Musk. President Musk will be attending a cabinet meeting tonight at 8 o'clock.
And see, I'm glad that Sean Hannity brought this up and they addressed it. Because when you expose something, when you address it, you let everybody know, I see what you're doing. It's not going to work. Call them out. So this way, they got to be conscious every time they try to do it. They're wondering how many of these people are seeing through our garbage right about now. Because it's obvious that President Trump and Elon sees through it. I'm glad they just didn't sit back and keep this quiet and make people wonder, like, is that working? Are these two, are they kind of driving them apart? You come out, you address it, you expose it, and then you move on. And you let them know you're silly. Your little games, your Jedi mind tricks won't work on us. And we see what's going on. So I'm glad they did that.
And I say, it's just so obvious. They're so bad at it. I used to think they were good at it. They're actually bad at it, because if they were good at it, I'd never be president.
Bam!
Because I think nobody in history has ever gotten more bad publicity than me. I could do the greatest things. I get 98% bad publicity. I could do, outside of you and a few of your very good friends, it's like the craziest thing. But you know what I have learned, Elon? The people are smart. They get it.
Bam! And that's what the fake news and Democrats don't get. We get it. So as they're chasing Elon and big balls and Trump around and DOGE and all of that, we're sitting back looking at these fools and saying, yeah, they must have struck the hornet's nest. What y'all hiding up in there? Why are y'all trying to protect other people's money all of a sudden? That's my question. Democrats usually spend everybody else's money. Now all of a sudden they're pretending they want to protect everybody's money and all of that stuff. And we got to protect their privacy. These are the most intrusive people ever. They want to get all in your business, all in your household, But now all of a sudden, though, they're trying to protect everybody's privacy. They're trying to protect their own privacy and shenanigans. So now Trump calls it out. And we all know it was happening. And I'm glad he called it out and shamed the devil. But let's continue, because that don't mean they're going to stop trying. That don't mean they're going to stop trying. That ain't their style.
Yeah, they do, actually.
They get it. They really see what's happening.
Yes, we do. So now, as the Democrats and the fake news are like little kids who think that their parent don't know what they want and what they're doing, you know what? I like ice cream. You sitting there with your ice cream, really? Yeah, remember I told you I like ice cream? Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I like it. And you know what they want? You sitting there going, you're trying to manipulate me. And I'm not going to fall for it. Why don't you just come out and say, I want some ice cream? But they think that you don't know it. They think they're getting away with it. They think I'm pulling a fast one over on mom by dropping this out here. I like ice cream. So here they are. They're telling them, look, y'all are like children. And we're looking at you and we're going, they really think they're manipulating us.
I have to tell you that there is no better way for the Democrats to continue to destroy themselves than to continue on this mission that they have with the F Trump and F Elon and the singing.
And the acting and all of that. And Mad Max showing up over there harassing bodyguards and the security guards. Show me your badge. What is your name? Here, put the camera on him. Show your face. All of that mess. People cussing. The Marjorie Taylor Greene brought a dick pic, and you know what? And I'm bringing one too. They think these antics work, and I'm going, y'all are the most childish, buffoonish party ever. This reduced to doing nothing but whining, flailing, having a problem with everything, chasing these folks around, and I love the fact that they're moving at breakneck speed. So they got the Democrats on a hump. For them to keep up, and the media, they got to work on their cardio. Because right now, DOGE is moving at breakneck speed. And here they go, chasing them. By the time they show up at one fire location, there's another fire down there. So wait a minute, we're still over here at the USAID. You guys are over at the IRS now? Let's go over here. Come on, hurry up, hurry up. They get there, wait a minute, you guys over at the Department of Education? Hurry, come on, everybody. That's what they're doing. And I'm like, good, keep them running around. Yeah, keep them occupied like children.
When the American people are like, we get this, just the way the President Trump was saying, we get this. We want to know where all the expenditures are going. I just said to someone, did you know that $22 billion went to illegals from Joe Biden over 2 years, I think actually a year and a half, for them to buy a house and buy a car and start a business.
I like houses. I like cars. I like businesses. I like that stuff too. You think maybe the Biden administration and all of them should have just came out and told us that, by the way, we're hooking them up. We're putting a hook up on all these illegal immigrants. You think they was going to be transparent like that and would tell us? Yeah. Why didn't they do that? Why weren't they proud of their efforts and their humanitarianism that they weren't responsible for spending out of their own pocket? You would think if it was such a good idea and immigrants, was such a blessing to our country and all of that, and they pretty much built the country. Why would you have to hide that money? Why would you have to say, look, I'm going to let the American people just trust that the tax dollars are going to the right places, but we're going to, set up this little fund, this little organization, so we can work on our own pet projects. And if it was legit, y'all would go ahead and just say, hey, everybody, this is what we're doing. We're spending this money on illegal immigrants to get cars, jobs, and houses. Excuse me, my friend. I've been living on this corner now for about 8 years. You see that cardboard box over there? That's mine. And that bucket right there, that's my piss pot. That's my piss pot. I was thinking maybe y'all can give me a little bit of that money for... Shut up, you homeless man. You're nothing but an American. Yeah, well, I am, I was in the military. Yeah, it's even worse. Yeah, we definitely got to make sure you remain on the streets. Yeah, I'm a vet. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You need to be over there in that hut. Now, come here. Felipe, come here. Yeah, you like that? You like that car right there? Give it a try. See, they know if Americans found out what they've been doing with all of that money, boy, I tell you, and they are working hard to keep them distracted to the point where you got some idiots getting mad at Elon and Trump for exposing that these folks been sticking everybody up without a pistol. That's the irony of it. That's the fragility of the human psyche. When I sit back and I see people actually mad over this, talking about Elon Musk is stealing everything. He's gone. He's not the president. I'm going, you dummy. You are working very hard to allow yourself to be taken advantage of. Man, the fact that you mad at this lets me know you already been taken advantage of. Mentity.
When senior citizens and veterans are, homeless or trying to figure out medication or food.
Sin's your favorite.
You asked Harold about, can they do a reasonable position? It's hard because that lane is taken.
Uh-oh. Now, Greg's about to give a wonderful analysis why the Democrats are stuck on stupid. They backed themselves into a political corner. Yeah, they went out and put all their chips on woke. They was like, we're going to go ahead, should we... Now, look, we're all going to do this together, right? Okay. I don't want no backlash later on. So we're going to put all our chips on woke. All right. We're going to go ahead and gamble now because I'm assuming transgender ideology will be popular in the next couple years or so. We're assuming that America would embrace all of these illegal immigrants that were stuffing into their neighborhoods and stuff like that. We're assuming that all of these folks would be okay with our crazy ideology. And now, what do they have left? What are they going to do? See, they then also put all of their chips on TDS. Yeah, they hate Trump so much, they can't side with him on anything. And what did Trump do? He's taking up all the lanes of sane. All the sane lanes, he's taking it up. He is going all across those lanes to make sure nobody else can get in there. So he's taking up the sane lanes. So let's see what Greg is talking about.
When you say reasonable position, you mean common sense. So that's the high ground, and there's nothing around a high ground. I'm not interested in saying that the Democrats suck. Leave that to outnumbered.
And me, I'll say it.
I say right now you suck, but here's what you got to do to get out of it. I think a lot of Dems, people watch this show. There are more Democrats watching the show than CNN and MSNBC combined. So they come here for some kind of free therapy, and I'm here to give it to you because I actually want them to join us, and the Democrats have a choice.
I want the voters to join us. See, by snapping out of this craziness. See, that's what I want. I don't want the Democrat politicians to join us unless they are sincere, like a Tulsi Gabbard. See, because it's hard to be a part of that party as a Democrat politician and not succumb to all of that evil. Very hard. And when you got a conscience over there, or you happen to be slightly independent, what? Cash is the new FBI director. They got him across. Oh, the rest should be smooth sailing now. But boy, I tell you, one of the last key puzzle pieces is in place. Not yet. Somebody said not yet. Oh man, don't get me all excited like that. Thursday, yeah, and man, watch Mitch McConnell. Watch the turtle come out there or I don't think that man, I'm gonna be so mad. That dude, he sucks. He needs to go somewhere and sit down. But anyway, so now see, y'all got me distracted. I was about to start celebrations. Okay, so let me maybe Greg could jog my memory. Here we go.
To join the good guys or become a Bond villain. Because if you're going to defend waste, fraud, and abuse, you are basically embraced.
That's what I was saying. Because they're all evil. It's hard to be a part of that party if you got a conscience or you're an independent thinker. Other than that, you all got to have the Bond villain mentality. All of them got the Bond villain mentality. They will get out there on the floor, call you all kind of names that they know you're not. Bring up all kind of lies without batting an eyelash like that chick with the long ones. Call you racist, white supremacists, all of that. Throw you in jail if they can. Use lawfare. These are a bunch of Bond villains. The whole Democrat Party. That's why I don't want the party to come over here. I want them to go extinct. I want their voters to wake up. But the party itself, I want that mug to implode, collapse. Yeah, man. We need to kick them right down. Yeah, I mean, I don't want them talking about, all right, man, all right, y'all win. That ain't enough. Hey, you might recover. Right now, we need to double stump the party out of existence. So now, yes, Greg, it's obvious that anybody who wants to be secret about the money and getting upset about transparency is siding with the Bond villains. It's very obvious.
The life of a Bond villain. Actually, it's worse than that. It's like you ever watch a zombie movie and you go like, it would be just so much easier to get bitten and become a zombie because then you're no longer terrified.
Never considered that.
Yeah, I do that all the time. I go like, just get bitten. That's what I think that a lot of Dems are doing is that they're embracing a role that is just easier, but it forbids them from ever becoming the good guy.
Yep. They're in too deep, y'all. They've committed. They put all the chips on woke. I mean, how you now are going to try to side with Trump after calling him a white supremacist, Hitler, a Nazi, a threat to democracy, Mussolini, Attila the Hun, all of those names. How you going to side with him? How you going to side with him? And you got a plethora of clips all over the internet calling him this and that and criticizing every single thing that he does and all of that. How you going to do that? It's hard. Yeah, they've gone so hard in on Trump that they're willing to just say, I'm willing to play the fool. I'm willing to play the Bond villain in the movie. I don't want a redemption arc. It wouldn't even feel good, man. I got to hate Trump, even if it makes me step on rakes. Trump got these folks stepping on rake after rake after rake. And I'm saying, you don't see those rakes he done laid out there? Trump goes out there and says, all right, I want money for everybody. And you go, I can't believe he's giving away money. This guy right here, he's a pink. No matter what Trump says, they immediately got to take the opposite. So they playing the Bond villain.
Becoming a zombie. And I think this is a bigger moment than maybe most people realize. This is, I think, the biggest political moment since the fall of communism.
Yep.
In that case, that end was definitive. The wall comes down, USSR dissolves. Suddenly, communism just evaporates, except in colleges. For the Democrats, the wall has come down. And many of their leaders sense that the Democrat Party of before is dead.
Yep. A lot of people sense that it's dead. I'm sitting there going, who wants to be a Democrat? Oh. I mean, and some of the people that have a little common sense left, they only get a heavy dose of the negative stuff about Trump, and they're just set on autopilot to, be a Democrat. But when you break it down, I'm thinking to myself, man, you look at their party filled with a bunch of effeminate men and angry women and crazy people. That is the whole comprise of the Democrat Party. Effeminate men, angry women, and a whole bunch of crazy radical protesting people. And elitists. I forgot about them. The elitists. But who wants to be a part of that party? I mean, they are an outlier now. I'm looking at them like, oh, I will be embarrassed. I can't believe I was a Democrat. But yeah, and now they're trying to find their way.
It's not in need of a rebrand. It's in need of a full body and mind transplant. And it's really hard to do that when you still have that stuff, the singing, the equity, the DEI. I don't think you can underestimate how wokeness, which is fueled by identity politics, essentially cultural Marxism, infected the party and ate it out, devoured it from the inside.
Yep. It's in the bone. I mean, see, how are they going to divorce themselves from those people out there singing? How are they going to divorce themselves from all of these folks out there talking about, I'm a part of the transgender community. I'm the T and the G, and people mistake me sometimes for a mister when I'm a ma'am. And you sitting over going, I want a divorce, but I done went out there and said, I love these folks, and we ain't never breaking up, and I'm there with you forever. I'm gonna support you through thick and thin. And now the person out there embarrassing you, acting crazy, and driving every sane person away from the party. So now what are they going to do? How are they going to divorce all of those crazy people we saw during that convention where they were voting, opening up, talking about some wade in the water, we shall overcome. All of those crazy folks. How are they going to divorce themselves from that? So they are stuck in the middle. That's what happened. It's like they went ahead and fed a whole bunch of cats around the neighborhood, and now you're going, why are these cats hanging out in the front yard? Shoot. You brought the cats there, giving them nice warm bowls of milk and snacks. So let's continue.
In a way, it's very similar to what happened to USSR, except it happened to a party, not a country. So I think that the Dems, my advice is to stop thinking about the role as an adversary to Trump. You have to ask yourself, what are we? You may find out that you're not anything anymore.
Yeah, and they're not. They don't have an identity because they major in identity politics. They become whatever they have to be in that moment. See, we stand on principle. Hey, I ain't changed since Trump ran in 2016. My core values are the same. My opinions are the same. I haven't retracted anything that I've said. And yet at the same time, these folks, every other day, they're supporting somebody else's cause, somebody else's grievance, somebody else's issue, welcoming another stray cat in, and then get mad because now you got to please them all. So they don't have an identity because they try to adapt and adjust and become all things to everybody except the average patriotic American. Yeah, they don't like them. The ones that don't vote for them, they're like, we don't want to become that, though. We don't want to become that. So we're going to take the far left position that's going to put us in a small minority, and I hope it does it to where they no longer exist real soon.
And then they have to decide, what does that mean? Do I leave this party? Do we start something new? What would that new thing be? Because it's really hard to find an oppositional point to Trump because he's neither conservative, right? He's neither liberal. He's basically a populist, and it's hard.
Bam! And that's what puts them in a very, very peculiar predicament with Trump. They don't know how to handle him. See, he's not your old school, Mitt Romney. He ain't your, Mitch McConnell. He's none of those guys. He is really, the whole party is turned into MAGA. It's a different mentality. Conservatives think differently about the Republican Party and conservatism than they did 10, 15 years ago. We've developed an appetite for fine dining now. We're sitting back going, man, we're tasting the good life right about now. We're now able to see how politics can be. Trump came along and set a wonderful example and standard. And you can see politicians coming up behind him that's going to carry the torch, hopefully. And we're going to hold him accountable. Because, see, we don't want to go back to the Mitch McConnells. We don't want to go back to the Liz Cheney's. And we're more tolerant than the tolerant left. Just because we are common sense and not crazy and freaking out and out there talking about, ma'am, I'm a ma'am, not a sir. And out there singing old black Negro spirituals. We're not out there calling everybody a bunch of white supremacists and stuff like that. That makes people say, that party looks cool. We're not out there highlighting everybody who comes out walking light in their loafers. All the boys and all the men are very gentle with no bass in their voice. Our party is popular. It makes people say, you know what, man? This is a whole different. I mean, I had a bad view of Republican parties and conservatives, but they seem pretty hip. You know what I'm saying? They look like they're having a great time. Did you see our convention versus the dang on Democrats convention? I know even Democrats probably was looking over there at our convention like, they sure look like they having fun. But anyway, they're white nationalists and xenophobes and homophobes. Are they laughing at jokes? They allowed to laugh at jokes? We ain't allowed to laugh at jokes because that's offensive. That we got to get mad about them and stuff. But yeah, you guys stay over there in your place. You fascists. All right, let's get back to being mad and whining. So that's what's going on over in this party. And now because Trump is taking up all the same lanes, it's leaving just the special lane for the Democrats. They're over there in the slow lane, the special lane, with the bifocals. Yeah, they're over there like, all right, I'm in the slow lane. We got cataract. Our car is small, and they only give us one lane how to drive in. Yeah, our eyes are so bad, our windshield is a prescription. So let's continue.
Hard to get footing when the guy's picking 80-20 popular issues. It's like when you said, a reasonable position, every one of them is taken.
Yep.
You're welcoming Democrats to go on this road of self-discovery here on the 5.
I think that it's very hard to join the good guys if it's a blow to your ego and the opportunity cost that you've already dropped into your side.
Yep, they've invested. They're going down with the ship, man. I'm talking about the politicians. They've invested and they're like, yo, you know how much footage I got out there, me putting on performances up in Congress, acting a fool, putting on a show. It would take me a minute to even trust a Democrat to decide, all right, I'm coming over. See, the ones that have come have shown us, and it's been progressive, and we've been able to watch them for a few years and see. But like right now, if I woke up and tomorrow Hank Johnson talking about, I've changed my affiliation, I'm going, Hank, what you doing over here? Yeah, Hank Johnson done surfaced again, y'all. I saw him out there. Yes, I got a question about Elon Musk and DOGE. And I'm like, Hank's back? I wonder if he's going to wonder if Africa's going to tip over. I want to know about Africa. And, I'm worried about the population there. I'm worried it might just tip over. Hank Johnson's back, y'all. But if Hank come talking about I'm a Republican tomorrow, I'll be going, Hank, what are you doing over here? Go on now. Go on, get. Yeah. So anyway, let's continue because, see, the media is coming out to help.
There's fear of public sharing of your name and possibly targeting.
Look at that, yo. We got a ghost. See, so notice that these folks are going and trying to find all of these people who allegedly are getting fired and all of that stuff. And they're not going and finding the people who spent the money recklessly and all of that stuff. They don't want to see that. They don't want to see that. So here they go. They want to tug on the heartstrings so they can protect their Democrat politicians who are corrupt in this raggedy behind agency that supports left-wing, policies and ideas and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
By who?
DOGE members, including Elon Musk.
Yeah, DOGE members. Had that lady all shadowed out. So I guess she's worried about big balls coming up in there talking about, yeah, I saw you on the news yesterday talking reckless about us. Yeah, you called me big balls and everything. So now, you know what? Retaliation. Nobody's worried about this chick. These people are out here acting like they are. Look, when you get offered 8 months severance, I mean, when 9/11 took place and they came in there with the manila envelope, I mean, soon as we was in the office and now everybody was tense and they called my name and I'm like, crap. Went up in the office. You know you're in trouble when the security guard is standing there with the arms folded. Sat down, Kevin, we need to talk. I'm like, don't say it. Yeah, we're going to have to let you go. Slid the manila envelope. It was like a month severance package. And to get it, I had to sit in some type of group session to talk about my feelings and stuff about getting fired. How do you feel about getting fired, Kevin? Mad? Oh, yeah, that'll do it. Well, we all got the obstacles to overcome. Look, man, let's hurry up and get this over with so I can get my paycheck. So these folks get 8 months, and they're up here shadowed out talking about some, I'm scared, big balls is after me.
Democrats. Democrats have had every opportunity to come to the table to offer a solution to cutting government spending. Once upon a time, they actually believed in that.
But see, no, that's not their style. They like money for everybody. It's a celebration. Round of drinks. See, so this guy right here is pointing out something. If these Democrats really cared about this, they would have tried to do this during the time they were, when Biden was in office. Why did this even come up at all? At all. I don't recall the Biden administration or one Democrat under these last 4 years that have brought that up at all. If you think they're willing to audit themselves knowing what's in there, they know ain't no money in that bank. Sitting back like, well, let's go ahead and do an audit. Nah, because we spent everything in the piggy bank. So let's just do it tomorrow. No, let's do it now. Nah, because, it's in there. And I'm going, I don't know. You look a little scared to go and snoop in there. Yeah. So these folks aren't interested in that mess, and that's why they're doing everything they can to stop it. And then you got the media saying, I think everybody agrees. The media is trying to run cover for them by making this excuse. I think everybody agrees that we need to make sure that spending is done better. But is this the right way? Elon Musk is going in there and he's snooping around all the bit. And I'm going, the Democrats, they don't want to. You're saying everybody agrees. You're saying, I think Republicans and Democrats, if Republicans and Democrats agreed, Democrats would have brought this up when they were in power. But nah. But the media is now trying to run cover for them and make them think that they're interested too in this.
Instead, all I have heard is whining, complaining about what Trump is doing, what Elon Musk is doing. Mm-hmm. The American people every single month, Dan, has to balance their budgets. Why shouldn't the federal government do the same? You would think that my Democratic friends would agree with that.
Nah, but they won't, because they ain't got to worry about balancing no budget when you got an endless supply of money coming from the taxpayers. You know what I'm saying? I guarantee you, they would be pinching every penny if they were spending their own money on these precious illegal immigrants. Wait a minute. So how much is this and what is this for? Oh, food? Do they have to eat? Okay, all right, well, I guess they got to eat. All right, no. Do they need pillows? All right, let's go ahead. We're not going to get them pillows. Just get them, some socks. Ball those socks up. They can sleep, put their head on the socks. What is this? Bubble bath. No, we're not spending money on bubble bath. Liquid detergent. They can wash the dishes and use it for bubble bath as well. All right. They will be pinching every single penny. But we're paying for it. So they get cars. You know what I'm saying? Luxury hotels, houses. And y'all want to start a business. Y'all came here for a better life. And we're here to give it to you on behalf of them. Not from us, though. Not from us. So, of course, they're not worried about it, especially people like Elizabeth Warren, who's somehow rich.
Sunday. And here's a reminder that Donald Trump has done pretty much nothing to lower your grocery costs.
And I wonder what you've done, Liz. Except raise your salary, your pockets, your bank account. Because I can't think of one thing this woman has done.
Remember, during Donald Trump's campaign, he repeatedly promised to lower food prices immediately. He's
so fake. Immediately. What is with that? For a second, I thought she was going to go straight Wizard of Oz like the Munchkins. Follow the yellow brick road. Follow the yellow brick road immediately. So let's go ahead and see her acting job and try to make us think that Donald Trump's been in office for at least, 5, 6, 7, 8 months already? And ain't nothing changed. By the way, thank you. Those that are giving in the super chat, I definitely appreciate that. Yeah, so here she is trying to convince us that ain't nothing changed already for, 2 weeks? 3? Going on 3 weeks? Yeah, man, everything should be peachy by now, right? Everything should be peachy. You know what? We should have already, recouped all of those millions of chickens that were slayed. We should already, how long does it take to raise a chicken? Jeez, oh man, we only killed a couple million.
said on day one. But here we are, way past day one.
Yeah, we're on day 15. Way past day one, and inflation hasn't come down yet. And you mean to tell me employment isn't at 0%? The GDP is not at like 4, 5, 6%. And I mean, what is Trump doing? What is he doing? What is he waiting on? She thinks this works. This is their strategy now, to follow Trump around and criticize and say, look, things aren't perfect now. Now, where were Elizabeth when everybody was asking about Bidenomics? And they were out there, well, we have to just get our message out and make sure that they see the benefits of Bidenomics and what we've been doing. And they did nothing. But now she's up here talking about Trump ain't done nothing, y'all, for the 2 weeks he's been in office.
Trump is like the 80-20 president. He gets on the right side of all these 80-20 issues. Democrats knee-jerk and take the 20. And then what happens? Today, CBS News poll this morning, Donald Trump sitting at a 53% approval rating, the highest he's ever recorded in that survey. Why? Because Democrats are taking the wrong side of all of these obvious issues, number one. And number two, they're giving him an enormous amount of latitude to move fast and break things.
The idea of deporting those in the country illegally.
Look at these. Yeah, man. See, when the numbers are on your side, they don't lie. And so now what do the Democrats got to do? As they're chasing Trump around, every time they go after him and attack him, and they take the 20%, the knee jerk, they turn right into a rake. Right into a rake. Trump has set them up real good. Here he comes out and say, there's only 2 genders and I'm signing legislation to protect women's sports. And what do the Democrats do? This is ridiculous. Like Sideshow Bob, right to the face. And I'm saying, good. Keep making them smack themselves in the face, because immediately they're saying, I'm going the opposite direction, and a rake is sitting right there. What else we popular over?
Continues to be popular. We saw that in the campaign.
Yeah.
Sending troops to the U.S.-Mexico border. Again, majority in favor. We'd seen that in the campaign. For his supporters in particular, the focus on ending DEI is popular.
I mean, what we are
Look at that. But here they come, y'all.
witnessing is a constitutional crisis.
Oh, boy. Now, why is she still in our country right about now? Haven't they figured out that she committed immigration fraud? That somehow paid her white husband all of that money to run her campaign? Little nepotism. How is she still here? But nonetheless, she's out here talking about a constitutional crisis. I want some DNA testing on that husband of hers. Now, I ain't talking about the white one. We already know what he is. He's white. Yeah, I'm talking about that husband that everybody was going out. They look kind of alike, don't they? Boy, it's funny that you and your husband looked so much alike.
We are seeing an executive branch that has decided that they are no longer going to abide by the Constitution in honoring Congress's role in the creation of the agencies, in their role in deciding where money is allocated.
Yeah, because see, you want to use some of that money for your little pet projects too, like sending money back over to Somalia, places like that. Who knows what you're doing with it? And the rest of these Democrats, who's now concerned about everybody else's job and the money and what they do and where this money's going. But they can't tell you where it's going, though. Yeah, and they definitely don't want to get into the details of all of the stupid things the money is being spent on. They just want to talk about the money's being spent to save kids with cancer and fighting against HIV over in Africa. They don't want to get into the nooks and crannies about those transgender operas that's going on up in that bad boy. They don't want to talk about that.
Next question, because your colleague Jeff Merkley basically said he's prepared to try to shut down the government over some of these sledgehammer actions that he's seen by Elon Musk. Are you prepared to shut down the government, to join Democratic colleagues who want to stand in the way of keeping the government open?
Well, you have to look at what the Trump administration is doing right now. They are simply trying to dismantle the government.
Yes, good. Dismantle that sucker majucka, especially now that we know what's going on in there. See, you know what it is? These are eye-opening times. See, we all support law and order, our brave men and women in law enforcement, until we found out that the FBI and the CIA and all these agencies were turning against us. Now, we ain't talking about the everyday ones is, I'm talking about when you find out, wait, they putting together lists for us and stuff like that. No, I'm not supporting that. I'm not going to blindly just say I support these agencies now just on principle if the agency has been found to be corrupt. So once we know it's corrupt, we're going to tear that sucker down. I want Cash to get in there and strip it to the bone. To the bone. Yeah, I want all of Bondi. I want everybody who got in a position to strip their department down to the bone. If not, dismantle it and get rid of it. Especially if we find out it's been used for corruption and waste. But this guy right here, he's talking about they're trying to strip it to the bone. He don't realize that that's the 20% talking. The rest of us are going, good.
So yes, look, if we have to take steps to be able to hold them accountable, use the leverage that we have to force it, I cannot support efforts that will continue this lawlessness that we're seeing when it comes to this administration's actions.
Yeah, well, go ahead. I'm sure that 20% will work out too. Shut the government down to protect bureaucrats and all of this wasteful spending, so that all the Republicans got to do is come out there and read the plethora of stupidity that you guys are shutting it down for. They're shutting it down for, Sesame Street in Afghanistan. They're shutting it down for, go ahead, do it.
And for us to be able to support government funding in that way, only for that to turn it around to dismantle the government, that is not something that should be allowed.
Like, there is a lot of waste, fraud, and abuse.
Now, y'all ready for this? This is how liberals think. This is how unaccountable these people are. He's asking her about waste, fraud, and abuse. Watch how she tries to work the Jedi mind trick on this man.
Within a system.
Audits and waste, fraud, and abuse are not the same thing. So let's decompose
Then
these.
please educate me on
Sure.
what
So an audit is exactly what you just described, which is, do I know what was delivered to which place?
Right.
The ability to pass an audit, or the fact that the DOD has not passed an audit, is not suggestive of waste, fraud, and abuse. That is complete.
Ain't passed the audit, but not suggestive of waste, fraud, and abuse. So wait, I gotta hear the explanation. I want to see the dismount on this.
Completely false right there. So
what is
now it's a question of, it's suggestive that we don't have an accurate inventory that we can pull up of what we have where.
That's all it is. We just don't have an accurate inventory to pull up of what we have and where. But that's not the same as waste, fraud, and abuse. Those are the elements of waste, fraud, and abuse. That means you don't have to be accountable to let anybody know where it's been. All right, Kevin, it says, I see right here, you got 18 cars. How'd you get them? I bought them. Okay, where'd you get the money from? Oh, all over the place. All right, any receipts? You know what? I don't have actually any receipts to it, all of that. Well, you know what? It sounds like you're frauding us. It sounds like you don't want to show us where all the money came from. But here, according to her, that's different. That's different. Just because we can't tell you where the money is, don't mean it's waste, fraud, and abuse.
That is not the same as saying we can't do that because waste, fraud, and abuse has occurred.
So in my world,
Yeah.
that's waste.
How is that waste?
If I give you $1 billion and you can't tell me what happened to it, that to me is wasteful.
Now you see, that's how dumb these people are. She tried to pull that mess off. Tried to pull that off. And see, that's Democrat logic. That's when you are so corrupt, now you got to sound stupid. You got to defend, your corruption. You got to try to hide that mess and make an excuse that don't make any sense. So yes, if you can't tell anybody where all that money went, how we know it ain't wasted? How we know you haven't defrauded us? Zelensky is talking about hundreds of billions of dollars. He do not know where the money is. So you can't tell. How do you lose all that money? Hey, Hillary and Bill, how did y'all lose all that money in Haiti? Where'd it go? We're just wondering. See, you know what that makes me feel? When all that money goes missing, is somebody got it. But you don't want us to know who has it. So it sounds like you're defrauding everybody because you didn't earn the money. The money came from the people, but it's just gone. But that's different than, waste, fraud, and abuse. Unreal, man. Oh, just a little cameo appearance to show how stupid this lady is. I forgot and left this clip in. Look at this.
We think about the future. We must, as a society, as a country, invest in adaptation and resilience. And we have to understand these extreme weather occurrences are extreme.
There it is. Double up on that term. Oh man, that mug has been in the lineup for weeks now, and I never got around to it. She said these extreme weather conditions are extreme. Because the children of the community is the children of the community. You know what I'm saying? Do I have to say it again? The children of the community is the children of the community. There it is. Boy, I tell you, we dodged us a bullet, y'all. We hit them with the Matrix on that right there. Woo-wee.
Increasingly less rare.
That includes
All right, now let's get back to the adults. So now, look at this. This is the new regime. Look, Pete Hegseth is talking about being accountable.
Got an audit, which to the Marines out there, y'all got to figure it out. And we appreciate that. Lean and mean. We are going to focus heavily to ensure that at a bare minimum, by the end of 4 years, the Pentagon passes a clean audit.
Yeah.
The American taxpayers deserve that.
Yes, we do.
They deserve to know where their $850 billion go, how it's spent, and make sure it's spent wisely.
So now, the most transparent cabinet ever, administration ever that I know in my lifetime, and yet they're trying to convince citizens that they're hiding stuff. They're being secret. They're not communicating. These are the folks that's trying to tear down the government and do what? And just hog all the money. They're just going to go ahead, Elon and Trump and all of them, just going to steal everybody's Social Security and all of that stuff. And they're just going to sit back in the Medicaid and going to be like, it's ours, mine. It's mine. Don't touch it. That's what they're going to do as they audit and say, hey, everybody over here, you want to see what the money's being spent on? Or in some cases, you can't see where the money's been spent. Yeah, so you got one of two things. It's either you can't see where the money's being spent because we don't know. It just went out the door. I mean, they were allotted, $8 billion? But you know what? I see $5 billion went out. And then there's $3 billion miscellaneous. Miscellaneous. We don't know who the miscellaneous is. And you got dummies out there like Elon Musk is trying to rob us blind. And I'm going, idiots.
It used to be that if you called for an audit, somehow you were undermining the department. I believe the exact opposite. I believe we are accountable for every dollar we spend, and every dollar of waste we find or redundancy is a dollar we can invest somewhere else, as President Trump has committed directly to rebuilding our nation's military.
Now, so many people over the years have complained about the government too big, too intrusive in our lives, too overbearing, too whatever, and it needs to change. Trump comes in and he's changing it, and people are saying, I want to stay the same. This is the mentality of humans that it kills me. They don't want to get over the hump. They will whine about something, and when you give them it, they can't even recognize it. You're sitting here saying, I bet you 10 years ago, so many of these folks was like, the government sucks, and we need to change. It's too big, and it's too much power. They got this and that, and they don't tell us what's going on anyway. And then you get Trump coming in. Just because it's Trump, their TDS blinds them. Soon as you say Trump, they have conditioned many folks to have the gag reflex. Immediately, like, well, if it's Trump, then he got to be up to something. And I'm saying, wait. So now he's rearranging the government, slimming it down, making sure it gets out of your life, give you more power, give you more money in your pockets, and being accountable to you idiots. And y'all go, nope, I'd rather them just do whatever they want. I'd rather they just spend whatever they want. I'd rather they have as much power as they want. I'd rather they hire 82,000 IRS people who have guns and come up and I'd rather they censor us. I'd rather they be sending money over for. And you going, you know what, man? You would get voted off the island. Oh, man, we can't have your stinking thinking on our island. You're crazy. We're trying to put the power back into the people and you can't even see it.
So rebuilding our military is key. The USAID was a slush fund, first of all, for left-wing projects around the globe, like gender surgeries around the world, diversity, equity, and inclusion policies, crazy Green New Deal climate scams. It was funding and
and don't forget help funding some of that Fauci crumbs that they sprinkled on us and stuff like that. Oh, and then the terrorists too. Some Taliban was getting some cheese and Hamas and all of them. I mean, it was money for everybody except the homeless here. Except the homeless. See, they weren't getting no cheese here. Our citizens weren't getting the cheese. Oh, and then it was those people over in East Palestine. And don't forget the folks in Hawaii. Don't forget the folks down there in North Carolina. I was 750. That should cover it, right? What? Don't look that way. Now, hey, Pepe, did you get your new car? How's that new business we helped you start? Is that going good for you? Better life, huh? Yeah, you came here for. Hey, get that frown off your face, okay? Here's your 750 right there. Don't spend it all in one place. All right, come on, Pepe, let's get out of here. Drinks on me. Yeah, that's what they did to us. And you got idiots that say, I like it like that. Keep abusing us.
army of left-wing activists, these NGOs, non-governmental organizations. They get billions and billions of dollars, and they use that money to then infiltrate corporate America. Resettle, for example, at taxpayer expense, millions of illegal aliens into this country. This mammoth left-wing power structure, media, wasn't organic. It wasn't created naturally.
It wasn't organic. It wasn't, you know what? I used to always think that. I would be like, yo, where'd all this left looniness come from? It just fell out of the sky. It seems like people just had instant craze that hit them, lost their minds. Now we find out it's been being funded, socially engineered, guys. Socially engineered by our own government and other Western countries and leaders and globalists. Yeah, this mess ain't normal. This is not, your society don't organically decide to think that boys can be girls and girls can be boys. That's not organic. Yeah. Just like it's not organic for us to want to just move towards electric vehicles. They're forcing us by threatening us with climate and all of that stuff. Yeah. These aren't things that we all just say, hey, you know what, I think I want to try this out. Or I think that's a good idea. No, we're going to shove this idea down y'all throats, market it, package it up, manipulate you, threaten you, demonize you if you don't like it, pass legislation if you really resist it, and it all backfired. We sniffed that mess out, thank God, before it took root too deeply. And we got to keep it, we got to pluck out the root. We can't sit back and get confident, yo. We can't say, well, we got them on the run. Stomp it out. The brain, he knows.
It was funded by taxpayer dollars. And that is why they are screaming and screeching so loud now, is because President Trump is cutting off the slush fund to the organizations that hate and hurt America.
Thank you, brain. Listen to this.
I was listening on your conversation about DOGE. Jake, I'm surprised that you never figured out a way to get involved in this USA. I mean, everybody.
Yeah. I mean, I'm laughing too because I'm upset. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Why weren't they trying to find conservative commentators and outlets and stuff like that to give some of those millions and billions to? We couldn't get none of that cheese. We couldn't get none of that. I mean, why didn't they support me in Kevin's corner? Huh? No, we don't get none of that. Only left-wing commentators, organizations, news networks, and stuff like that.
Nobody's on the take except you. What's going on?
I had known I would have started an NGO. Where's my NGO? You had everything except the money laundering. You had the grit. You had the virtue signaling. You had it all except the actual money.
Let me up-level this for a second, okay? So we knew the U.S. government runs a $2 trillion deficit every year. We're in debt almost $40 trillion. And we also knew that anytime anyone tries to cut anything in Washington, the whole city screams bloody murder.
Oh, snap. Now, why is that? Are they protecting their own investment? They done got fat, built their own machine, their organism all unto themselves, outside of the body, though. Yeah. It's like your kidneys just deciding to go rogue. All right, I'm leaving. Sick of this mess. You eat too nasty. You're jamming me up and everything. How am I supposed to process your urine? I'm out of here. I'm going to be living in the room next door, doing whatever I want to do. It doesn't work that way. Get your butts back up in there and start filtering my urine. But no, not according to USAID. It's like we're over here, we're doing whatever we want. Don't ask us any questions.
Okay, so the question is just why? Well, now we know. The money is all going to them. It's like round tripping to them. New York Times, getting paid. Politico, getting paid. Bill Kristol, perennial warmonger.
Look at this.
Getting paid.
Yeah, look at this. But the news ain't talking about this. They're not highlighting this. Now imagine if this was, a Republican thing. This is more so when you look at these things, they're benefiting the left, the progressive ideology, the left, the globalist movement, all of this stuff. See, and I'm sure some Republicans got their hands in it here and there. But imagine if these things were all being spent on conservative movements, ideas, and things like that. The media would be picking every one of these things apart. Look, they're spending money on this, and they got American flags. Did you know that? They're financing American flags. And they would be having a fit, but they don't want to talk about all of those things right there that is stupid. They want to talk about Elon Musk and big balls.
Ukraine getting paid, like 11 out of 12 publications, Ukraine getting paid.
I want to get paid.
Viktor Orban, who's the prime minister of Hungary, was saying that he's very popular in Hungary. His political opposition funded by USAID.
What? So we are, get Nala. You're going to get it. Boy, you're going to get it. Y'all, she was trying to eat my Bob teeth. She was trying to eat them. Man, the people would have been mad at you forever. You know how long they've been wanting Bob? Don't be trying to get up here now. Anyway. Yeah, well, see, now she done broke my concentration. The money, what did he just say?
In Poland.
Left-wing. I mean, we're up here funding other countries' elections. Now, isn't that crazy? I mean, if I'm another country and I had a tight election, I would be looking going, y'all try to set me up, y'all try to sabotage, and we set back for years hearing y'all talking about Russia interference in y'all elections. Russia influence in y'all elections. Russia bought a couple ads on Facebook to sway people in y'all elections. And y'all are funneling money to my opposition. Unreal.
Political opposition funded by USAID, and on and on and on it goes.
BBC, you wonder why everyone in the UK
money for everybody.
I couldn't believe the BBC's getting paid.
Every left-wing organization in the world seems to be getting paid by this slush fund at USAID, which disperses about $50 billion a year. That's $1 billion a week. That's actually a lot of money. And so it makes you wonder. What? The left in general tries to portray itself as a movement of the people.
Yeah. Because Joyless Reed and all them was saying everybody wants to be on the cool kids team. The liberal, progressive, ideology, the left. Yes, they're popular. They got the culture. They got all of this stuff. No, they're ridiculous. That's how you know it's all manufactured. When you look how crazy these folks act, I go, how could they be popular? What? I don't understand. Their tactics are crazy. When you see how they program their supporters to, tie themselves to the street and all of this, and how crazy they get when they get a mic in their face and they talk about this and their grievance, and then these Democrats get into Congress and they act a fool and embarrass themselves. Their party is raggedy. And I'm saying, are these ideas really that popular? I mean, is trans ideology really catching on? None of that stuff was catching on. We were all seeing it and going, is it just me? Or is this crap, where'd this come from? This sounds nuts. And come to find out, it was. It wasn't popular at all. It was all manufactured.
That is grassroots. This is the exact opposite. This is AstroTurf. This is basically money coming from the top down out of Washington to fund all of these groups, maybe not even in the United States, like all over the world. So it makes you wonder, what is the real level of local support for these left-wing policies all over the world?
We just found out here in America. None. Yeah. I'm so glad we got enough common sense people still left in America to reject this crap. I feel for Europe right about now. I mean, they're hanging on by a thread. They're trying to come back. They're trying to make progress. But their government is trying to stop these movements, these populist movements taking off over there, because they are hanging on to that wokeness too. Now, it appears right now we got our wokeness on the run. Yeah, we got our wokeness on the run. And hopefully we will awake a lot of people in these countries that are woke. And they will say, whoa, we don't want to succumb to wokeness forever.
Yeah. He's acting on behalf of himself. Okay. And I think people should be very scared about that.
See, there you go. Now here it is, guys. We're going to throw everything on the wall and see what sticks. Now we got to go after Elon, because you know what? Elon's acting on behalf of himself. So let me understand this lady's logic.
You're terrified that the FBI might have the internet? I mean,
I'm terrified. I'm terrified that Elon Musk is putting people in federal agencies to figure out business opportunities for him.
Y'all hear that? It's always a diabolical scheme. Now, you might call that a conspiracy theory. Yeah, because if anybody came up with that on the right, it would be a conspiracy theory. There's no evidence. There's no evidence of that. So let me get this straight. Elon Musk decides, you know what? Here I am, comfortable. I'm the richest man in the world, making all of this money, minding my own business, and all I wanted was some freedom of speech, and you guys wouldn't let that be. So now I had to go ahead, buy a company, another company, operate this company while operating all the other ones. Yeah, and then y'all attack me even more. And so, I became more popular and made more money. But you know what I thought? I thought to myself, let me go ahead and get deep into politics to the point now where I even pissed the left off more by coming in here, adding one more thing to my plate. One more thing to my plate. Sleeping on the floor, not getting paid to do this. Okay, for what? See, they say things like this to make everybody seem like they get an evil motive. Only Democrats do everything for just money and profit and power. Okay, some people do things for principle, like Trump. What motive do Trump have? Oh, I need more billions. What motive do Elon have? I need more billions. I'm not the richest man in the world. So I'm going to go ahead and spend all of this time in Washington going through all this mess for what? So I can make more billions and become the richest man in the world? Yes, they don't think like that. She's saying this stuff and I'm going, you sound stupid. That's what you sound.
And you know that's true, Scott.
He's the richest man in the world. This man,
that's concerning.
And he's like sleeping on whatever on the floor of a government office building 7 days a week.
Yeah, that's his MO. See him try to switch it? That's his MO. He throws them off. He's throwing them off, y'all. Yeah, see, he's making everybody think that he's just doing this out of the love and concern for the country and stuff like that by sleeping on the floor and roughing it. But really, y'all, when the lights go off, he's up there in the middle of the night. All right, here is Lula Mae Johnson. How much money she got in her Social Security? All right, she only got, she 85? She ain't gonna make it much longer. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and allocate this towards Elon Musk fund. All right, hey, big boss. You want some of this money too? You want some of this money? We're gonna wire it all. That's what he's doing in there. That's what these folks want us to think. Now, all these contracts and government contracts that he done had before he started working with Trump, he had them. But nonetheless, no, not according to them. He's now doing all of this just so he can get more contracts and more money.
In order to help this government, the spending is interesting. We're not going to balance the budget based on these spending cuts, although some of this stuff is patently, objectively ridiculous. And when I see Democrats rushing out to defend some of the things that that he's cutting, I mean, it makes the Democratic Party sink to very low levels.
Yes, it do. Lower than they already are, which is pretty low right about now. And that's good because every time they rush out to defend something, I'm going, the kill deer, baby. Yeah, they trying to keep you away from something. They're out there trying to protect something else when they start whining about stuff. Because remember, guys, the rule of thumb, Democrats don't care about people. They don't care about Americans. So whenever they come in talking about we got to protect the citizens and this and that, I'm going, you're trying to protect yourself. Something else is in there that's benefiting you guys. Because if it wasn't, you would let Trump fire everybody. If it didn't impact you, what do y'all care? So let's continue.
But what I see him actually doing, and the most important thing he's doing,
is what?
Is enforcing the doctrine of common sense.
Thank you.
This was the doctrine that Trump laid out in his inaugural address. What is the ideology of the Republican Party right now? It is best described as enforcement of common sense.
That's all, baby.
Uncommon nonsense on the left, and we have common sense. And when you look at what the government is doing, agency after agency, and spending some of our money, we're not going to balance it on a $79,000 grant here or there, but we are going to restore common sense, and that's the point.
Yeah, but the Democrats don't have that. See, they let Trump compromise their common sense, but they really never had it. But once again, soon as Trump says something, they take the opposite. Not common sense at all. Here they are, still out here supporting stuff that got them beat badly the last election, but they ain't got enough common sense to distance themselves from that. They don't have enough common sense to say, at least let me ride the coattail of Trump a bit so we can appear to be kind of moderate or common sense based Nah, they ain't even. Well, we got rhinos who were smart enough to do that. When Trump at first got messed up with that Access Hollywood tape, shoot, Paul Ryan, everybody run for your lives. You know how many Republicans was like, man, I'm done. He's done. I'm not going to support this guy. And when they saw the people supporting him, they came back out of nowhere. I was a little premature on him. Hey, you know what, though, Trump, for real, man. I like what you're talking about. They even had enough common sense to pretend that, we're siding with the popular, candidate, but not Democrats. Democrats say we'll rather take the worst position ever and look crazy than to act like we got some sense.
If we're serious about balancing the budget, then they should put forward a tax package that doesn't explode the deficit. So if we want to have that conversation, we can have it. Because that is just not where.
If you supported the last regime, you can't talk about economics. You can't talk about tax policies. You can't talk about borders. There's not one area of government that you can talk about intelligently if you supported the Biden-Harris administration. Yeah, you should be banished from talking about topics like that. If you want to talk about taxes and you supported Bidenomics, you supported that last one, y'all should still be stuck on stupid. Like, man, they were horrible. I can't even believe I can't even look forward. I'm still looking at how bad they were. But not them. They moved on like Biden was great. Now we can criticize Trump and his decisions.
That's just not where the Republicans are.
You're for higher taxes.
But I think that
you want to continue.
I'm for a tax code that doesn't explode the deficit and actually benefits working people and business and not just the richest people like Biden.
Let the Trump tax expire?
Like Elon Musk.
By the way.
All of these folks, they just hate rich people, right? But they all want to be rich. I don't know one person who don't want to be rich, who wouldn't prefer to be rich. Isn't that crazy? They always like the billionaires and the rich and the millionaires until they become millionaires. And I guarantee they won't stop in the millions. They definitely will go into the billions if they could. But then they would be the good ones, though. That's the difference. They would be the good the millionaires and billionaires because they recognize their white privilege. Yeah, that makes them good, though. That's why there allowed to be millionaires and billionaires.
Will working people benefit after 4 years of Biden and Harris? Absolutely not.
Thank you. So, guys, here we go. We got us another hoax. Here's the one that they tried to slide in, y'all. Yeah, they will lock onto a word, send that mess out in an email, and the media come right out there like a whole bunch of penguins and start spreading it. So here was the hoax, y'all. And then it got blown up at the end. Constitutional crisis, y'all. Here it is. The word
Warnings tonight of a constitutional crisis brewing. The U.S. is dangerously close to a constitutional crisis.
No. That's right. It's time for another Trump hoax.
Yeah.
I know, you're shocked.
The legal scholars say we are headed for a constitutional crisis.
Legal experts warning of an impending constitutional crisis.
What?
Some Democrats and legal experts say it leaves us smack dab in the middle of what they're calling a constitutional crisis.
If he intends to ignore what the courts say, this country will potentially find ourselves in a constitutional crisis.
Wow. You know what? You hear all these Muppets? Somebody's hand is up every single one of their butts. And it's a Democrat. Constitutional crisis. Constitutional crisis. Now, the funny part, somebody said word of the day. Thank you. Constitutional crisis. See, so they want to push the narrative that Trump is a dictator. And he's just going to ride all over the courts. He don't care about balances, checks and balances. So he's just going to go ahead and say, shut your mouths, you judges, even though he should, because these judges are interfering with the executive branch. But he's still winning. But nonetheless, they were hoping that they could make that stick now. See, so we're going to protect all of these crazy policies, all of this crazy spending, and these corrupt politicians that are covering their butts right about now by coming out and trying to scare the people and say constitutional crisis. Now, this sounds like a party that cries wolf. Listen to all of this wolf talk right here.
So if the president, if the vice president, if others in the administration say we're just not going to listen to what the judicial branch says, that is a constitutional crisis. That is a crisis for our democracy.
Yeah. Now, I'm expecting some constitutional crisis to come around the corner. Y'all sitting out here drumming it into my head. Constitution. I'm like, oh, shoot. What's that? A constitution. Oh, shoot. When is it going to happen? How can we prepare for this? And look what we got for it.
Is how democracies crumble and how dictators win in the end.
The most serious constitutional crisis, arguably of the last 100 years. There's some debates.
Last 100 years. So we got to work on our woof. Our woof don't sound like a woof. I think they're seeing through it. Here we go. Some more constitutional crisis coming our way, y'all.
How about what exactly would qualify as a constitutional crisis? Are we in one? Seems to me we've been one for a long time.
I mean, look at that acting. I think a long time. What the heck are you talking about? You guys have created a constitutional crisis by supporting a coup, multiple coups, pushing Russia collusion, all of that mess. That's constitutional crisis. But here they are now. The Democrats gave them their next assignment and their next hoax. So here they are now, crying wolf.
Certainly since the aftermath of the 2020 election.
Constitutional law experts say this is the clearest sign that we might be creeping towards a constitutional crisis.
Yeah. Like, which ones you talking about? What constitutional law experts and stuff? You know, they just throw that out there. Scientists say climate change is the greatest threat to, and I'm going, what scientists? Which ones? Show me their writings and their data. Are you just going to throw that out there because you're sitting there with another propagandist there to push the narrative and pretend like you got a higher authority that went ahead and said that? But really, it's coming out of you.
I think most Democrats believe it's a constitutional crisis.
Basically, we're in a constitutional crisis, even though there isn't a complete clear definition.
It's a
But there's no clear definition, y'all. Just know you're in one, though. Just know you're in one, okay? All right, you're going to be in a vortex. Well, when is that going to happen and when? Well, how do I know I'm inside of one? You'll know, but you won't know, okay? Because I can't really describe what it looks like or what it feels like, but hopefully you'll recognize it when it happens. So you keep people walking around scared. You keep people walking around looking over their shoulder, looking and saying, when is the constitutional crisis coming again? What's constitutional crisis day? Did we miss it yet? All right, is it tomorrow? So now we're waiting for it like it's a meteor that's about to hit us. Look at all these wolves. I mean, they're just selling wolf tickets. That constitutional crisis. And they do this all the time. How many times have we heard existential threat, existential threat, existential threat? Nothing happened. Crying wolf.
Constitutional crisis. We are seeing an executive branch that has decided that they are no longer going to abide by the Constitution.
It is threatening the Constitution itself, hence a constitutional crisis.
A lot of critics of this White House suggest that they are on the cusp of a constitutional crisis.
Yeah, a lot of critics like you guys and the Democrats, they're trying to make it seem like it's a whole bunch of people. All you got to do is look at the poll numbers. The people are going, bravo. Bravo, Trump. Bravo, Elon. But now all of a sudden, a lot of critics, meaning CNN, MSNBC, and the Democrats. But they're not done, y'all, because, see, I'm still waiting for the constitutional crisis.
Democrats have looked at this and see a potential constitutional crisis on the horizon.
For them, we're at a point where we are basically on the cusp of a constitutional crisis, seeing this administration taking steps that are so clearly illegal.
We've got...
Clearly illegal, y'all. So now, once again, got my mouth all watering for a constitutional crisis.
What experts are calling a real constitutional crisis.
Yeah,
the constitutional crisis. I believe we are in one.
You mean like the 42 experts that said that was Russian disinformation, that laptop? Those type of experts, the ones y'all go out and get, the propagandists. But now, come on now, we're not, man, I'm sick of this mess. Give me the constitutional crisis. Stop toying with me.
Constitutional crisis here is that Congress has been subverted.
A constitutional crisis, grossly unconstitutional.
Yeah, listen, I think this is the most serious constitutional crisis the country has faced.
Wow! The most serious that the country has ever faced. At what point do Democrat voters figure out that they've been crying wolf? How many times do Democrat voters need to get disappointed? How many times have they got them all excited for Christmas and they got nothing but a lump of coal in their stocking? Y'all gonna get y'all some impeachment this time. Oh, Trump's going to prison. He's going to prison this time. Let me tell you something. Hitler. All of this crap that they keep throwing out there, and then it just goes away and they move on to the next constitutional crisis, next buzzword, next talking point. And yet people still chase those talking points around. Some people still think the wolf's coming, but it's not. So now here they go. Watch how quick the constitutional crisis falls apart.
I think we're heading towards a constitutional crisis right now.
Yeah, I do believe that.
All of this is a constitutional crisis. We're watching this unfold over time, and I don't mean to be hyperbolic about
that's not hyperbolic.
To be on 11 all of the time, but is a constitutional.
They live on 11. I mean, you know what? They blew past 11. They're on 12. They live up there. I don't want to be on 11. So now this narrative and hoax get blown up this easy.
Crisis. New warnings of a constitutional crisis.
Yeah, listen, I mean, this isn't hyperbole to say that we are staring the death of democracy in the eyes.
Do you hear these people? Man! You don't hear that wolf? You don't hear that wolf? Staring the death of democracy in the eyes, y'all.
Right now.
We are hearing the phrase constitutional crisis. Will the president...
No. Y'all aren't hearing it. Y'all are saying it. See, what are you talking about? What I mean, yeah, you're mixing the roles up. Yeah, you're the people who are saying it and hearing it. That's the funny part. Basically, what you're doing is hearing your own narratives. That we're hearing the echoes of a constitutional crisis that we've been saying all morning because they told us to say it. But we're going to pretend somebody else is saying it. Isn't that crazy? I mean, they are. And it's so obvious. They, like I said, they're the kids that you're going, these kids don't. They don't think that we as adults see what they're doing.
President drive the nation full steam ahead into a constitutional crisis.
So you hear that, everybody? Get mad. We want all of the citizens to get mad and say we got to stop Trump because of a constitutional crisis. Wait, what happened to the last one? It was an existential threat, or was it a threat to democracy? All right, wait, which one we on now? Oh, it's a constitutional crisis. But wait, what was the threat to democracy? And when did we end that one? Did he ever? Okay, so wait, it's hard to keep up with all of these narratives. That constitutional crisis.
There have been so many unconstitutional and illegal actions in the first 18 days of the Trump presidency. We've never seen anything like this.
Never.
Democrats to keep calling it a crisis, the constitutional crisis.
We really do have a constitutional crisis.
Constitutional crisis.
The constitutional crisis.
Constitutional
crisis. The constitutional crisis.
A constitutional crisis.
I can make
That
it
is
so
a genuine constitutional
crisis.
crisis.
Constitutional crisis.
Constitutional crisis.
A constitutional crisis.
Constitutional crisis.
Constitutional crisis.
Maybe headed for a constitutional crisis.
Constitutional crisis.
Is this a constitutional crisis?
Is it?
There's this whole question of, is it a constitutional crisis? Yes, it is. If Elon Musk and Donald Trump are ignoring and trying to supersede what courts are doing, but we can't.
But it's not a constitutional crisis if all of these crazy radical activist judges are blocking the executive branch from performing their duties. It's not a constitutional crisis the other way. You only see it one way, right? One way. Okay, the way the Democrats want you to see it. Interesting. But now here she goes ahead and asks a fundamental question and watch the whole constitutional crisis just disseminate.
And just keep saying constitutional crisis, constitutional crisis. Nobody knows exactly what that means.
Yeah.
I mean, some people do. What if
and y'all like it like that. Y'all keep saying it, and you like it like that because your audience is low IQ. Therefore, they'll fill in the blanks. Constitutional crisis, that gotta be bad. Got to be bad. Don't sound like it. Look at the way they're saying it. Look at the way they're saying it. Constitutional crisis. So you don't want the people to know what a real constitutional crisis is. Just like you didn't want your people to know what a real insurrection is. Because then they might go, that don't fit the description of an insurrection. So they want it vague.
does that mean to people sitting at home? If a judge does block one of your policies, part of your agenda, will you abide by that ruling? Will you comply?
Well, I always abide by the courts, and then I'll have to appeal it. But then what he's done is he slowed down the momentum. I always abide by the courts, always abide by them, and will appeal.
What? And that pretty much killed the constitutional crisis.
Constitutional crisis averted. How you like that? Just that easy. All they had to do was just ask the president. But instead, what did they do? They ran with the hoax. Yeah, they decided, you know what, forget that, because we don't want to know what he's going to do. We're going to make up what he's going to do. We're going to infer that he's just going to go ahead and go rogue because we've been saying that he is a dang on dictator. So now we're just going to keep saying it. And then somebody asked the question. And boop, there goes the constitutional crisis. All gone now, all gone.
We obviously heard Trump say he would abide by the judge's orders, which is good news. At the top of the show, we said they were hinting about ignoring them, and now we have President Trump saying no, we would abide them. So constitutional crisis averted.
Fake crapper is mad. He was hoping Trump would have been like, I'm going to do what I want. These freaking activist judges won't stand in my way. I'll kill them all. Kill them all. He was hoping. But now here he goes like, okay. So now what are we going to do, guys? Now they all got to go home. Now they all got to go back to figure out what's the next thing we're going to say he's a threat to. All of that crying wolf. But guys, I'm going to skip to this next clip before we get out of here. Oh, yeah. Rake to the face. Y'all ready for some rake in the face? Oh, yeah. Look at this. Look at this. This is a beaut.
We have some major breaking news. Donald Trump's State Department is awarding Tesla, one of Elon Musk's companies, a $400 million government contract.
Whoa, hold up, stop the press. Wait a minute, man. I put Trump in so that he can go in there and bust things up and change things. You telling me he done let Elon Musk come in, take over the presidency, and then start giving him little side hookup contracts? Oh, that's messed up. That's messed up. You know what? I might have made a mistake with my vote. Might have made a mistake. Let's finish hearing this soy boy, this very gentle Pop-Tart right here with no bass in its voice. Tell us about how corrupt and evil Trump and Elon's relationship is.
Yeah, that's right. The State Department's procurement forecast, revised as of late December 2024, lists Tesla as the recipient of the largest expected contract, with Marco Rubio's department planning to buy $400 million worth of armored Tesla.
Wow, you got us there because you gave us the air quotes. Armored Tesla. There it is right there. I mean, look. Harry Sisson got us. Harry Sissy got us. I mean, I guess Elon is corrupt. I guess he is doing this all for his own wealth.
The award is targeted for Q4 and is forecast to last around 5 years. The procurement forecast is listed as having been modified on December 13th, 2024, a month after Donald Trump's election. And here you can see the actual forecast from the Department of State, and there it is.
There it is. Yeah, this guy right here, he got us, y'all. He got us. And guess who else supports this narrative too? Yeah, see, he's just a TikToker, but somebody who claims that they're a defender of democracy and they don't allow any type of lies on their network because it's a price to pay. She's going to come out next, and you know who I'm talking about.
$400 million for armored Tesla. So let me just get this straight. Elon Musk, the wealthiest man in the world, is trying to get access to your personal data at the Treasury Department and a number of other government agencies, while also simultaneously receiving the largest State Department contract of 2025. That looks like some pure corruption to me.
Yeah, but you couldn't sniff out any of Joe Biden's corruption. It was very obvious and right in the face of everybody. So let me get this straight. A guy who has a crackhead for a son, who has no skill sets, but was getting $80,000 a month on a corrupt Ukrainian oil company or whatever, energy company. And talking about his dad was the big guy and the 10% for the big guy, with witnesses all over the place saying that he was the big guy. Let me get this straight. Yeah, you're telling me that guy is innocent? See, well, it's funny how they can't put these clues together when you got overwhelming evidence of real corruption. See, but Harry Sisson here, he got us, y'all. He got us.
Donald Trump's entire goal is enriching himself and his buddies.
Yeah, that's all. Trump, his whole goal was say, you know what, I'm not rich enough. I don't have enough on my plate. I'm already famous, popular, and wealthy. So is Elon. But they decide to go ahead and say, man, you know what we ain't rich enough. All right. So let's put ourselves through this headache. I'm going to go ahead out there, possibly get assassinated. At least two attempts on me. Have folks hating on me. Yeah, I'm going to go through all of this. Have folks trying to throw me in prison for the rest of my life. Yeah, for what? To enrich myself more. But I'm not going to even take a salary as president. And Elon, you don't need to take a salary for DOGE. All right? Yeah, but don't worry. We'll get it on the back end because we're doing all of this to enrich ourselves. We could be operating our own companies and enjoying our lives. But here we are trying to make America great again. And this fool actually said everything Donald Trump and Elon does is to enrich themselves richer. They're going to enrich themselves richer.
Elon Musk should not be working for the executive branch at DOGE while also receiving government contracts.
Elon Musk has apparently somehow...
Here she is, y'all. Oh, there's the nose that knows is crooked too. Just like her real nose. That's how her nose is shaped. So it's just a freestyle. Meanwhile, I keep the beat kicked in, sweat dripping, girlies in the limo eating chicken. So here comes Humpty Nose right here. She thinks she got us. Oh, look at her. She's gleeful.
Convince the United States government, specifically the United States Department of State, that the taxpayers of the United States of America should spend $400 million.
Now look, y'all. She worried about the taxpayers now. She ain't talking about the taxpayers have to spend millions on illegal immigrants and housing and stuff like that. Why is she talking about that? Why is she talking about the taxpayers have to spend money on a transgender opera in some other country? Or men getting circumcised in other countries. Why is she talking about the taxpayer have to spend money on that? But now all of a sudden the taxpayer got to spend $400 million on some Teslas. First of all, that's pocket change for Elon. Okay. But nonetheless, she's trying to make it about the taxpayers now.
In dollars, buying, quote, armored Tesla production units. Isn't it great and definitely not at all illegal or profoundly corrupt?
Y'all hear that? The emphasis on that. I'm sensing a moment. Profoundly corrupt. Y'all hear that? She got us, y'all. Profoundly corrupt.
Definitely not ripping us all off to pay themselves, right?
Donald Trump didn't give that contract to Elon Musk.
Uh-oh.
Joe Biden gave it to him.
Profoundly corrupt. Profoundly corrupt.
Right to the face.
Profoundly corrupt.
Do it again.
Profoundly corrupt. Profoundly corrupt.
You see what stupidity will do for you? They are spending every day trying to find out something bad about Elon Musk and Donald Trump. And when you do that, you run into all these rakes. She didn't even see the rakes. Yeah, her and Harry, they were all focused on, we got something. We got something, y'all. Look at this. Let's run it. Let's run it. Went ahead and ran it. And now found out, rake in the face. All you got to do is stop for a second, look around and say, wait a minute. Watch where you're stepping. Before we go with this, let's look around to make sure we're not so focused on Trump or Elon that we end up stepping on a rake. Let's hear it again.
Profoundly corrupt. Profoundly corrupt.
Yeah, he's not done. There's a lot of rakes.
Profoundly corrupt.
Profoundly.
By the way,
so there you have it. Rachel Madcow got the rake to the face, and she deserves it. Every bit of it. Every single one of them are doing this. They're all chasing Trump around, chasing Elon around, and they don't look in the blind spot. They don't look at the danger. My a good buddy of mine, some of y'all might have heard the story, but I had a friend in his younger days. Me and my boy went up to Miami University. I'm talking Miami of Ohio, Ivy League school, and took the Youngstown mentality with us. We up in that bad boy like Youngstown in the place, and we're gonna let everybody know it. We were quick on the draw when it came down to thumping. You know, football players, too much testosterone rocking around. Didn't take much to set us off, especially my boy. So somehow we walking uptown in the middle of the night, and it looks like a couple frat guys walking our way. And my buddy just decides, this is the mind of a 19-year-old, decides I'm just gonna punch this dude in the mouth. Out of nowhere. Sucker punch coming. Bing! Punch the guy in the lips. So, no, first he's pushing the guy. And I'm like, man, leave the dude alone, man. He's pushing the guy. The guy just kept walking. So he comes around, boop, punched the guy in the mouth. The guy stops walking in the direction that he was walking in. And he turns and he starts walking back the way he came. Now, I'm wondering, why did he just change directions? My boy changed directions with him. And he's still walking behind him, giving him the push, hoping to get a response, wanted to go to war. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, stop for a second. What's going on here? Why is this guy walking that way? You think my boy saw that? You think he stopped for a second to go, wait a minute, where is he leading me to? He was so focused on that dude that he would have walked right into the police station with him and realized once he's in there, like, oh, shoot, I'm in a cell? That dude could have walked him right into a jail cell. That's how focused he was on him. And me and the other dude caught it. We like, whoa, stop, man. He's taking you to the police station. Now, my boy, he wasn't worried about the police station. He was just focused on that guy. I want a piece of this dude. For no reason. For no reason. Same thing what they're doing to Elon and Trump. I'm going, now y'all know Elon is doing what he's supposed to do, and he's exposing y'all. Because he ain't breaking no laws. He ain't trying to steal the money. He ain't all of this stuff. But what are y'all doing? Y'all are attacking him so much that you don't see that they're leading y'all into a whole bunch of rakes to the face. And y'all don't stop for 1 second to say, wait a minute. When they decide to do this, and I jump on it like, I can't believe they did this. Is this popular? Is this one of them situations where I'm going to think I got them and I'm going to turn around like, told them, right in the face. And that's exactly what happened to her. She thought profoundly corrupt. So I'm glad she took it to the face with that rake. She deserves it. Hopefully it'll straighten that nose out. I don't know if there's any hope for that nose. But nonetheless, that's where they're at. They're all about chasing Elon around and Trump around instead of chasing around the truth and seeing what the American people feel about what's going on in the country and showing a little, patriotism. The news, the left-wing news is just Marxist all through and through. Anything that benefits the country, they act like they just hate it. Trump got some prisoners released, and you should have saw the coverage of it. Dana Trash almost looked like she was hurt to have to cover it. And then afterwards, what did they do? Slide in Biden. I thought, well, actually, we need to make note that the lady right there, she was actually under the Biden. And I'm going, y'all hate the country. Y'all hate Trump so much that it makes y'all hate Americans, patriotism, the country, us winning. They would rather see our country lose and just fall apart, which it did under the last administration. And you would think since they live here, they would be going, let's celebrate some victories, even if we don't like Trump. Because the people are happy and they're saying, yay. But nope, they taking it 20%. Go ahead. Continue to do that. Put yourselves right out of business. So thanks for hanging out with me tonight. Don't forget to hit the like button. Share my videos. Yeah. Here's my little shadow. Follows me around everywhere. Getting in trouble on the way too. And then of course, I'm not gonna leave you out. Yeah, there you go. That's him. Gizmo in the house. You got a yawn for me? You got a yawn for me, Gizmo? No yawn tonight? I guess you're not sleepy. Yeah, you're focused. Yeah, he's like, I'm focused tonight. All right, I'll be back tomorrow most likely, unless, of course, the man makes me work about 50 hours, which I don't think that's going to happen tomorrow. And even if it does, I'll probably pull through. But in the meanwhile, make sure you hit the like button on the way out. Those that gave to the super chat, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And those that didn't get an opportunity to give in the super chat, you always could go ahead and support the channel through my Cash App or my PayPal link. You have not, because you has not. Yep. And also, I do have a store, corner store. You can check out online store. And I think other than that, subscribe to my alternative channel. Make sure you're still subscribed. Turn your notifications on to all. We'll see y'all next time from Kevin's Corner. God bless. Oh, I forgot.
Another thing.
Oh, well, you know what? I didn't finish all of the clips. Yeah. There's that rake at the end. Wait, one more. Wait.
Huge swaths of spending and the personnel that makes up what we call the U.S. government.
Yeah, she had to retract it. She had to retract it, y'all. Had to come out and make an excuse for her lie. Oh, boy. All right, God bless. See y'all next time in Kevin's Corner. Take care.